Hey guys, Boris with Big Forex. Welcome to the crosses section for Feb 28th to March 3rd, 2017. And the story this week really is partly a continuation of last week's ideas. One of my favorite ideas still remains to be the pound yen, which wavered for most of the week but started to actualize our short bias as the week came to a close, and I still like it very much. And the other one is really a play on the odd weakness that we saw at the end of the week that I think could again accentuate itself as a next week comes into play. Let me just sort of show you what I'm thinking about as the week opens up. I still like the pound yen, as I said, as my primary short trade, and it closed on the lows, which is a good sign that pound weakness, and much more importantly, even the yen weakness as we enter the week, could give us an impetus for a move all the way down to maybe 137.50, 130.39 on a support basis. We'll have to see just how far it can go, but I think the bias to the downside certainly seems to be there at the beginning of the week. The next couple of ideas are really variations on the theme of odd and a combo with what I consider to be the strength currencies, which is the euro and the CAD. So odd started to roll over after hitting very, very defined quadruple top resistance above the 77 level, and probably has a little bit more corrective moves down to the 76s. What's more interesting here, I think, is the fact that the euro has a chance to bounce back up if you believe that most of the political risk is starting to seep out of the trade. Le Pen is not going to win the French election. The sooner the market begins to realize that, the more likely it's going to weigh positively in the euro and could possibly bring us back up. And then in turn should lift euro odd back up to 139. And the other story is, of course, the potential for strength in Canada if BOC comes in more hawkish than the market thinks. And that certainly should help dollar Canada perhaps test the 130 level, which in turn could push odd CAD below 99.50. Let's take a look at the charts here and just see how everything sets up. Let's start with pound yen actually first, as that's a very, very clear definitive downtrend in the making. So, you know, we've talked about the fact that it's a failure of multiple lower highs over here, and the fact that we're now right at this 39.73 lows of the week. Very interesting. This indeed is support. So yes, could it bounce back up completely? Very, very possible, but much more likely that we're going to break through here and possibly test 38, maybe even 37.50 before we find deeper support. The total support here comes in at 136. That would be a fill of this gap. The gap did get filled to the upside, but maybe now it could get filled back to the downside, which would be very, very consistent with long-term technical patterns. So that's an interesting trade, and I still continue to like it to the downside. A euro odd is a trade to the upside on odd weakness, and basically the idea that euro has more juice to go. The encouraging sign here technically is the fact that 36 got tested, came back up, and I think as long as 36 holds, I really like this trade technically, and potentially actually has moved all the way, scope all the way up to the 140 level if euro picks up steam over the next couple of sessions. But I do like this trade. It gets invalidated absolutely if 36 gets taken out, but until and unless that gets taken out, I'll like it very much to the upside. And then much slower, lower volatility, no doubt about it. That's a very, very tight, low trade, but still looking quite good as the turn on the dailies here suggests that maybe we're starting to crash down towards the parity level. A break below parity definitely opens up the test of 99.50. That's what I would be looking for either in front or through the BOC rate announcement on Wednesday. That's the big catalyst this week as we enter the trade. Again, a move back up above the 101.50 completely invalidates the short here, and I would just get out of the trade as clearly the pattern would turn positive. This is in some ways very much trying to catch the top, no doubt about it. But we do have very good technical indicators that the top may very well be in the making. The market is weakened off the 101.50, so therefore I think it's a reasonable risk at this point to try to take it to the downside and see if you could test 99.50 as the week progresses. Those are the best cross ideas I have. I wish you guys the best luck, the best of trading. Boris, over and out.